So that there's a tribe in Ghana where you come to the world and you're pregnant, you're not supposed to shout.
Oh.
Because if you shout, it means that you have cheated on your husband.
Are you serious?
If you're in labor and you are screaming, you're expressing the pain, your sister-in-laws would go and report to your husband that, oh, Amina is shouting because she cheated on you. I envision a future where every girl would have equal opportunity. Every woman will have that equal opportunity. By giving the women equal opportunity, it will start by empowering them. I'm huge on empowerment, because if someone is empowered, has the knowledge, that person is like that person can do whatever she wants to. She has the knowledge to make informed choices. It's a different thing, because right from your childhood, your parents have a particular life practically drawn out, planned for you to live it. So unlike other apps where it's separate, like when you are pregnant, you will be on this app. When you are menstruating, you'll be on the other app. This one, through your reproductive health journey, through when you menstruate till you get pregnant, we are with you. So it gives us that level to be able to monitor your progress.
Imagine the heartbeat of a community linked with the rhythm of life. This is the world through the eye of a midwife. Stepping into her shoes, we embark on a journey today, BISA Fellows, guided by intuition, expertise, and an unwavering commitment to the miracle of birth and the well-being of mothers and children. Today, we are diving deep into the heart of Ghana alongside Sarah Nkansa Boateng, who has branded herself the Global Midwife, whose insights and dedication are not just preserving lives, but is paving the way for future generations. BISA Fellows, welcome to another inspiring episode on the BISA platform. And this is your girl, Betty Osei Bonsu, here where passion, values, and environment comes to life. Stay tuned for this amazing episode. It's BISA. BISA with the time. Slow BISA. It's BISA. It's BISA. Accomplished, nothing to fear. It's BISA. Hello, Sarah. Nice to meet you, and it's a pleasure to have you today in our studio.
Thank you too. It's an honor to be here. I'm truly humbled to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to have someone who brands herself the Global Midwife. Can you tell us your story? How did your journey start? Who are you? What are you? Where are you? Whom are you? Please feel free.
Oh God. Okay. I get really emotional anytime I would tend to talk about my story, because I always say that it has been a very confusing one for me. You know, growing up, everyone has a particular mental picture of herself, who she wants to become and where she wants to be in the future. And in Africa, it looks like our parents would want us to tone a particular trajectory, a particular path, because of the mindset. So they think that it's just becoming a lawyer, becoming a doctor, that pays. So you go to school in your primary days and they ask you, who do you want to become? You hear your friends say, I want to become a lawyer. Then automatically you also say, I want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. Like, that was the only things that we had in mind. That was the limitations of our minds. So for me, I wanted to become a lawyer. Because everyone was saying I could argue, I could talk. So It will fit you. You can become,
When you know
a
how to
lawyer.
argue, that's it. You're a lawyer.
Now I can become a lawyer. So fast forward, I went to SHS. I went to Oyoko Methodist Senior High School, as in Koforidua. And in school, I went to school with science. And when I got to, don't be marveled yet. You have a shock of your.
Okay, I'm listening.
When I went to the science class, I left the class because the class was so quiet.
Oh my God.
I know. I left the class. I'm like, this class is so quiet. This is not for me. So yeah, I picked a straw on the formal blog and I saw this class. They were making noise, and that was the general arts class. So that's why I finally settled. I settled in a general arts class, and I did literature, government, economics, and I did patriarchy. Until I didn't know why I did those courses. I was a very confused girl. Even my school, it was my headmaster that chose for me because he's from that town and I had to go to the school. I failed SHS. Like I failed woefully my WASI. It was so bad. And I thank God for my father that gave me the opportunity to go back and write WASI again. I can only imagine what my life would have become if he had just left me to my fate. You know, in Ghana, SHS is the icebreaker. If you're not able to go past SHS, there's nothing you can do with your life. So after SHS, I wrote again, then I passed, thankfully. Then I told him that I wanted to read law. Then he said he doesn't have the finances to see me through law. So let me go to the nursing school. So it was like nursing school was an option. It was an option for me. And I went to school doing midwifery, and I thank God I did midwifery. Now I see it to be a blessing in disguise, and I see that God was directing my path through my parents to do midwifery, because it is in this that I have seen my purpose, I've seen where I'm going to, and more of the impact that I've done with my work is through my work as a midwife. Okay. So I got to school, and it was so tough for me, but I told myself that I cannot fail this time again. Regardless, I do not like this course, but I don't look like a failure, so I'm not going to fail. And that was the mantra, that was what was in my head. So I made sure I sought out help by going to my seniors to help me during prep time, and that's how I pulled through. Fast forward, in second year, I began my foundation. That's the Incancers Foundation. It all began when So wait, let me go back a bit. So in school, I decided to blend my talent with education, like what we were doing. So everyone could see that during SRC week, I was so hyper. I loved SRC week because I would be doing most of the presenting, the MC work, the live band. I sing as well. So I'll be doing the live bands, I'll be MCing, I'll be doing all that. Then through that, I realized that, okay, I could blend my passion with work. So in second year, someone identified me, a doctor identified me with my potentials, like because I'm outspoken and I'm able to gather people. Okay. He told me that he had a program to a health talk, and he invited me to be a speaker there. It was on menstrual hygiene. When I got there, I realized that these young people did not have a lot of understanding about menstruation. They were using unhygienic materials. It was so pathetic. Wow. And for me, from where I'm coming from, I didn't see that as a big deal. So seeing that these girls didn't have understanding was a shock to me. There, I was burdened to help. So it was just pure passion to help my younger girls, so my younger sisters, go through menstruation. And being a midwife, understanding the long-term effects unhygienic materials will have on their reproductive health in future, I was just burdened by it to move ahead. That's how my foundation happened, and we've been on for 6 years. It has transitioned through and through like that. So the Global Midwife came somewhere in 2020. Okay. I was just there and I was like, I cannot be defined by my background. You know how people would want to be defined by where they are coming from. Yeah. I told myself, no, I cannot be defined by where I'm coming from. This is the path I want to go regardless. I need to have a mental picture of myself.
That's
where
true.
I want to get to,
Mm.
and intentionally live accordingly. So the
Yeah.
global midwife is me telling myself that, girl, you are going global, and
Yeah.
that's period.
Yes. You
So
can't have it local midwife. It is global midwife. Wow, that is a
yeah.
huge journey you've taken. I wanted to ask you further, the ladies or the children you are helping, how many have you been able to impact? Do you take them through lessons? Do you take them, or you just give them the sanitary materials? How do you do that? And how do you impact them?
Okay. So our journey as an organization has transitioned from time. And from the beginning, it was just education, going out to give them education, then giving them disposable sanitary pads.
Okay.
When I made up my mind to really be on this journey, like be on this path to help them, I had to read, research about it. And I realized that a lot more of these rural girls do not have access to the menstrual product. So, how can we empower them? Just giving them the menstrual products will not solve their problem. The problem is menstrual poverty.
Ooh,
Giving them a disposable sanitary pad is not going to solve it. You are only going to curb for just a month.
that's true.
What happens to the rest of the month? You'll go back to their problem. And if you empower somebody, you give the person enough knowledge or enough opportunity to choose from
Mm,
or to make informed choices.
that's true.
So it moved from giving disposable pads and educating them on the menstrual hygiene to sharing reusable sanitary pads. So I got to know about the reusable sanitary pads, and I made connections with someone that produced reusable sanitary pads in Ghana. She's
Okay.
Eco Period, a reusable sanitary pad. And I spoke to her about my initiative. She bought into it, then we partnered to do projects. Then finally, this year, we began our first project by teaching the girls how to make the reusable sanitary pads for themselves.
Wow.
Imagine just giving them the reusable sanitary pads and we've gone, like we've left. What if it gets torn? What if something happens to it? How are they going to get new ones?
Sustain themselves.
So
That's
now
true.
our aim is sustainably eradicating menstrual poverty. So it's
Wow.
not just eradicating menstrual poverty, but we are finding sustainable solutions to
Mm,
it. Because everyone can say she is solving menstrual uh, poverty,
mm,
but is it sustainable?
mm.
How sustainable is it?
Wow.
So looking into sustainably eradicating them, we are now teaching them how to make it. And so it will surprise you to know the skills can be it's transferred, like
That's true.
it's transferable. Even when we've left, they can teach their parents, they can teach their younger siblings, they
Mm,
can teach people in their society. So it means Encancer's Foundation has taught one person is teaching two people, then gradually in our absence, the wisdom is spreading.
that's true. I think this is so powerful, Sarah. Sustainably eradicating menstrual poverty. Wow, is that not inspiring? You know, we're looking at your profile and we came across this particular mission of yours, and you said you were currently spearheading the design of innovative app dedicated to supporting pregnant women, adolescents, and women across all reproductive age. I know right now you are dealing with menstrual poverty, as you said. How does it tie in with this passion of yours, coming up with an app, or even pregnant women?
My job as a midwife is dealing with pregnant women every day, every now and then, and not just pregnant women. So I would love to use this platform to um, clear or make clarities on our roles as midwives. Sometimes it's so sad that they only think midwives are responsible for pregnant women. No, midwives are responsible for women in their reproductive age. So right from your first menses, we call it menarche. So right from your first menses to when you get to menopause, your reproductive health is my concern. Your
Wow.
fertility is my concern. And even your partner's fertility is my concern. Because for you to be able to finally come to the maternity ward to give birth, you need to be fertile. And I need to see you through that journey. so that you can come to the world to give birth. You understand?
Yeah.
So I am responsible for uh, girls in their reproductive age to women in their menopausal age. Yeah.
I didn't know.
So I know. Don't worry. Told you.
Okay, so tell me, how does the app, how does it link with this work you are doing with the reproductive and the periodic poverty?
Right. So there's a direct link in the sense that when girls are able to track their menses, so the app is a platform to empower women and girls to take charge of their reproductive health. I believe that women are the driving force of every economy. So they need to do well in order to do well. And how can they do well? They can do well if they have enough knowledge about their reproductive health.
Wow.
We can all bear witness, we can all attest to the fact that the major health issues of women has to do with their reproductive health. If the reproductive health of a woman is not in good shape, it affects virtually everything about her economics, her psychology, her social life, everything. Imagine not seeing your menses in 2 days. You know that you're supposed to you're supposed to start menstruating today, and it's not happening. See how you feel. It literally affects work. Affecting work means it's affecting productivity. Productivity means it's affecting the economy of the country. So you see how important to.
I've never seen that linkage before.
So linking the app to my menstrual hygiene, when you're able to track your menstrual period,
okay,
you have the requisite knowledge about it, and you know how to keep yourself. So let me say a little bit about the app.
Okay.
It's a platform where pregnant women will be able to track their pregnancy journey. A lot of pregnant people go through pregnancy in fear and anxiety. And as a midwife, I've experienced firsthand when people come to the hospital, pregnant women come to the hospital, and they do not have any understanding about what is going on with them. They are so scared to even voice out. But the care is between the health worker and the client. I am not the God to lord over you.
That's true.
We are sharing ideas. So if you have enough understanding, you have the right to say that I don't want this treatment. I want this treatment. I want to do this. I want to do that. So basically, we are equipping pregnant women, adolescent girls, and women of all reproductive age with requisite knowledge about their reproductive health. Adolescent girls can track their fertility and their menses, and there's online midwife consultation where you can have a private one-on-one consultation with a midwife.
Okay.
Maybe you don't have the time to be at the hospital. We've got you. And you can just log on and chat with a midwife, and the tailored information on sexual and reproductive health just for you. So unlike other apps where it's separate, like when you are pregnant, you will be on this app. When you are menstruating, you'll be on the other app. This one, through your reproductive health journey, through when you menstruate till you get pregnant, we are with you. So it gives us that leverage to be able to monitor your progress. Whether you get pregnant and you are like, hey, I'm not ready to keep it and I want to take it out, we are there to give you expert advice, and we are ready to show you what to do. And when you say, oh, okay, I'm pregnant, I want to go ahead with it, we are there to guide you through the process. So all the time through your reproductive health journey, talk to your midwife is there to guide you. So basically,
this is so nice. This one, I'm going to call it Midwife Gone Digital, right? If I'm
yeah.
I think this is so beautiful. I would love to hear a lot of the work you are doing in the community. You are doing an app tracker, you're eradicating periodic poverty. What other impacts are you creating in your community? I just want to hear them, because your profile is outstanding. We see a lot of outreach activities. Can you tell us more? What can people hear? What can other young people hear to get inspired of the works that you are doing?
Great, thank you. So I use that opportunity as well to inspire my younger selves, because I feel that I didn't have that mentorship enough. I didn't have that guidance enough. So I wondered so much with career choices, with even courses to do. Can you imagine I went to the science class and left the science class, and I'm still doing science anyways. So I've veered on so many parts. I've made so many mistakes. So I use that as an opportunity to empower and inspire my younger selves. Because if we go to the schools and I say I am a midwife, the kids get so inspired, like, oh, I want to be like you. And on my team, we have a UX designer who is like a 24-year-old girl. So the girl that designed my app, she's a very young girl. Yeah, so she's on my team as well. I have a UX designer, I have a web developer, a lady, I have a nurse, I have a lawyer, I have so diverse people. So when we go out into the community, it is us coming in to educate on menstruation and inspire you that there is nothing in this world that you cannot do if only you put your mind to it. You are determined, you are focused, and you want to get to it. You definitely get to it.
I think your story is very inspiring because you spoke about not being modeled or even motivated along your career journey. From your infancy, you had a lot of mistakes. Do you think these are some of the issues we are facing in our society, that we do not have a lot of people to look out to or look up to, and we end up making a lot of mistakes? Do you think there are other ways the society can grow from this?
I think it's an African thing. It's an African thing. Because right from your childhood, your parents have a particular life practically drawn out, planned for you to live it. So we should look at it from the root.
Okay.
Tackling it from the root would make a lot of difference. It is mostly the stubborn ones that come out differently.
That's
so
true.
After I did my service, I decided not to go back home. So I left my parents. I left my parents after service and decided to be on my own. So it was after service that I had my radio and I was doing the things I was doing. Because I believe that environment trumps talent.
Oh.
The kind of environment you are in will determine who you become, how you become, how you think.
I've heard this several times, but sometimes it's quite challenging. Sometimes, but you still see some people, even if they were limited by the environment, they still scale through. Do you think they did not embody their environment? They look beyond that?
It's about intentionality. You cannot become who you want to be if you're not intentional. You cannot get to where your mind has not taken you to. You cannot get to where you have never envisioned. So me calling myself the Global Midwife. It is me envisioning myself on the UN platform, on the national platforms, telling myself that, girl, you are global, your expertise will get you there.
Yes.
You understand? Mind you, I come from a community where it is so cool to be a teen mother. So my project, I had to go back there to interview the young people, and I was so saddened. Like, I literally have goosebumps right now. I saw my childhood friends who are now pregnant.
Yes, I'm sure this happens.
Others have either 2 kids, 3 kids, they're forcibly married and all that. I decided to leave that environment because I knew that is not the path I wanted to go to. It takes a lot of introspection. It takes a lot of intentionality to be able to be different from your environment. You need to be intentional.
You heard Sarah. She said it takes a lot of intentionality to be able to maybe dream big or even achieve that greatness you want to achieve. I want to hear from Sarah. She's a woman. Have you observed the possibly maybe inequality in women rights and gender equality in Ghana, or even in the global world? Maybe you could start from Ghana and go to the global world.
Right. So but I think it's getting better with time because of the advocacy.
Yes.
Because now the world is like a global village, and because of technology, people are getting to be informed, and they are becoming oriented about it. But it's still lacking. It's still lacking. I can link it to my profession as a midwife and the encounters I get on the ward. So something like the healthcare,
Okay.
there's so much inequality when it comes to the women, of course.
Mm.
And it's due to cultural limitations.
Wow.
You know where they say that, so that there's a tribe in Ghana where you come to the ward and you're pregnant, you're not supposed to shout.
Oh.
Because if you shout, it means that you have cheated on your husband.
Are you serious?
If you're in labor and you are screaming, you're expressing the pain, your sister-in-laws would go and report to your husband that, oh, Amina is shouting because she cheated on you. How is that supposed to make sense? But it's going on even in the first century. And when it comes to family planning, family planning is for the woman, but sometimes you realize that I need to get the approval of my husband. If my husband says, no, I don't want the family planning, it means she don't have to be on the family planning. How fair is that? When will a guy go to the hospital and say that I need to consult my wife before I take the medication? Never. But there's so much inequality when it comes to the health of the woman, especially the reproductive health of the woman. Again, we would need to tackle it from the root, educating them. That's why I talk to your midwife. It's going to even rural communities, even apart from the app, my radio program. It's purely in our local dialect so that people will understand it. To be able to conscientize even the males to understand that we are not trying to say that we are equal with them. We can never be equal with them. Okay? But we are just saying that we can have equal opportunities. That is all that we are saying. And equal opportunities shouldn't be one-sided. It should cut across everywhere. Healthcare, education, sports, everywhere. We should be able to have equal opportunities.
Okay, wow, thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing this particular story, especially that cultural difference you observed within your line of work. Myself, I am inspired. I'm also surprised that during this 21st century, we still have such cultural limitations within our society. Whilst we are bringing our interview to an end, I would like to ask you, what are your future goals in the public health and social work sector? Also, looking at gender, what are your future goals?
I would say that I envision a future where every girl would have equal opportunity. Every woman will have that equal opportunity. By giving the women equal opportunity, it will start by empowering them. I'm huge on empowerment, because if someone is empowered, has the knowledge, that person is like that person can do whatever she wants to. She has the knowledge to make informed choices.
Yes.
So I envision a future where our health sector will be better. We keep saying it, but we can only hope. But I envision a future where our health sector will be better. Women are empowered, girls are empowered, they have the right education, everything goes well, and we are all at peace. That's the most important thing.
Okay, and you're speaking about empowerment. I just want to add this last question. What can individuals do to drive change in their community? Either be empowered or empower other people.
Okay, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. You cannot do anything without being intentional. I'm sure, Betty, you envisioned where you wanted Bisa to be, and you've been intentional. There are days you don't want to show up. There are days you are tired, but you know what you want, so you're intentional about it. If you want to drive change in your community, first identify a problem in your community. You might think that there's no problem, but there are lots of problems all around. Identify a problem that you want to work on, and be intentional about what you want to do.
Okay.
Start from where you are and with what you have. A lot of people want to get the millions before they want to start. Helping somebody doesn't mean you need to be financially stable before you help. I started my foundation with 0.00000, but I had the expertise and human capital. I leveraged on connections, I leveraged on networks, and we were able to give 20 boxes of sanitary pads on our first outreach. Even when we were not registered, it was just going out to help. So we all can make a difference in the community in our own small way. It doesn't also necessarily mean we all have to start up a foundation to be able to help. These are your small way. Identify a young person in your community, mentor the person, speak life into, just be nice to people. That alone is empowering. And to be empowered, you need to consistently add value to yourself. Consistently add value to yourself. People are after money, and I say that the value you add to yourself determine your net worth. Consistently add value to yourself. You'll be surprised the kind of people that will approach you. But if you are just in your one corner, not adding value to yourself and claiming that you want money, my darling, you'll be poor forever. And the riches I'm talking about is not just in monetary value, but in relationships, in connections, and of course in monetary.
Okay, well, you heard Sarah. She said be intentional and add value to yourself. As you mentioned, the road has not been easy, even for myself. I always don't want to talk about my journey, but one of these days I have to talk about it. But it has also not been easy. By just about being intentional, as she has said, and not only dreaming, but walking the steps towards that dream for you to actualize it. And I tell you, you'll be so surprised how far you can go. You heard her very well. And now, Sarah, for us to bring the conversation to an end, I'd like to ask you a very peculiar question, which is, what kind of Africa would you love to see?
I'd love to see an Africa where we are authentically ourselves, unapologetically living our African dream, not allowing foreigners to tell our story, but telling our story the African way. But I mean, who else can better tell the African story than ourselves?
Wow.
We are the ones that can tell the African story. So let us live authentically us, like embracing our culture and making sure that we are being true to ourselves, not imitating from the Western world. You know, we are so rich in expertise, in human capital, in resources that I'm saddened most often when things are going south in Africa. But I'm proud to be African, and especially to be born in this age, because I see the amazing work African young people are doing now, especially with technology and a lot of things that young people are doing. So I know that the future is bright for Africa. The future is really, really, really bright for Africa, and I cannot wait to experience that time.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. You heard her. She said, be intentional, add value to yourself, and don't forget to be yourself as an African. It was the Sarah Global Midwife episode with you, and I was your host, Betty Osei-Bonsu. We were highlighting her extraordinary journey as a passionate advocate for maternal and child health. Her work were impactful. It's impactful. It's still impactful in the sexual and reproductive and menstrual health. Just imagine the diverse work she's doing. Her significant contributions to community development and public health in Ghana. It's amazing, and also in the global level, because she says she does not want to remain local. She's going global. We hope her story will impact someone out there. create connection, or even increase awareness of her impact. No matter who you are, where you are, or what you are, be inspired with stories from Africa. Thank you. I hope you are inspired, because we are. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to all our social media channels. It's displayed on the screen, and don't forget to press that notification bell to receive updates when they come by. It's Visa.